Rangers were looking for a proper defender, and after 43 appearances, Robin Proper showed that he is not the one. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football here for your daily transfer roundup. And Robin Proper has left Rangers. It's finally official. He has departed the club. He's going back to the Dutch League, the Eredivisie, and he has joined FC20 for an undisclosed fee. So we don't know the amount that Rangers are getting for him. I'll be surprised if they're getting anywhere near the amount of money that they paid for Robin Proper. I think it's fair to assume that this will be a loss for Rangers. This guy came in as a captain. He was supposed to be a rock. He was supposed to be a solid defender, a leader, someone that could help you win games, help you win trophies. But in the end, it just wasn't the case, was it? No, his career at Rangers, I don't know if I should call it a disaster, but it certainly wasn't good. He was underwhelming. He did make a lot of mistakes. He wasn't this great centre-back that Rangers thought they were getting. And yeah, in the end, he quickly found himself out the team. He came in as the number one guy. He was expected to be the leader, the number one centre-back at Rangers, and not long after, not long after his first Rangers game, he found himself under pressure. And before you know it, he dipped down to number 2, number 3, number 4, and then he was a guy that was literally just sitting on the bench. And when you're paying over $2 million for a guy and he's got that experience and he's on big wages, you're not expecting him to solely just be a guy that's sitting on the bench. He should be the number one centre-back, and for Robin Proper, he wasn't that. So Rangers have decided, you know what, move him on, get your money back. I think that's the correct call. I think that's the right decision for Rangers. And yeah, I mean, they're not getting all their money back, but you may as well get something. And they've brought in centre-backs anyway this window, so hopefully Robin Proper, nothing against the guy, maybe he'll do well going back to the Dutch League, but he certainly didn't have a good 2024-2025 campaign at Rangers. And yeah, it was a bit of a disaster, but who knows? Listen, we've seen players move to clubs and it just doesn't work out, and then once they move away, they regain their form and they get back to their glory days. And maybe that will happen with Robin Proper, but he certainly did not show it in Scotland. But one man that is no longer in Scotland is former Kilmarnock defender centre-half Corrie Nandaba. He has completed his move to Lecce in Serie A. The 25-year-old man has moved on. He's completed his medical, and it will be official on Monday that he will be a Lecce player. So Kilmarnock will be looking to get a decent amount of money for him. At the moment, though, it looks like an undisclosed fee as well. So just disappointing to see all these moves, all these players leaving Scottish teams, and we just don't get an actual fee. We're not told up front how much that these clubs are getting, for their players, which I think we should. But for whatever reason, there's just so many undisclosed fees that it's not right. There's way too many. And Ndaba made 39 appearances last season for Kilmarnock, and all but 2 of them were starts. So yeah, he was an important player for Kelly. Am I surprised to see him earn a move? I mean, no, I think he's a decent player. I'm not really surprised that clubs have come in for him, and it could be a good move. He's not Scottish, but we've seen, lots of players leave the Scottish Premiership to go to Serie A. I don't see why this guy can't have a similar career. I don't see why he can't go to, the Italian Serie A and help Lecce. They finished 17th last season, so just one place above the relegation spots. They'll be looking to try and improve on that, and maybe they think that Nandaba is the man that can help then move up the Serie A league table, potentially. Right, let's talk about Hibernian, though. So, Hibernian's hopes of signing Nicotarius Triantes on a record permanent transfer following last season's loan have suffered a blow after the 22-year-old Australian midfielder triggered a significant wage increase as a result of Sunderland's promotion back to the Premier League that the Scottish Premier Club would struggle to match. So, yeah, unfortunately, due to Triantes triggering this deal, it looks unlikely that Hibernian are going to be able to pay this or match this, and that could be the difference maker. Had Sunderland not got promoted back to England's top flight, we could very well be seeing Triantes become a permanent Hibs player, and Hibs could have broke their record transfer fee. But the fact that they would have to somewhat match his wages that he's now getting at Sunderland, It looks very unlikely. So, yeah, that's unfortunate for Hibs. Looks like they were willing to actually spend a bit of money, but I just don't think they can compete with Sunderland wages, especially hard enough to compete with Sunderland wages when you're in the when they're in the Championship. Never mind when they're back in the Premiership. So that is disappointing. What else do we have? Across the city, Heart of Midlothian are hoping to announce the signing of 24-year-old Burkina Faso forward Pierre Landry Caballero from Narva on Monday. That has been reported by the Hearts Standard. So Hearts looking to bring in another attacking player, which is surprising because they've already got quite a few attackers. So Hearts here, Derek McInnes, he is filling up that Hearts team with goals and strikers. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what happens there. Also, Falur Reykjavik midfielder Thomas Bent Magnusson is eager to leave his native Iceland amid a six-figure offer from Hearts for the 22-year-old. So it looks like Hearts are interested in bringing in another player, this time a midfielder, Icelandic midfielder Thomas Bent Magnusson, who I've never heard of. But yeah, Hearts already made some good signings. They've been playing really well in the Premier Sports Cup, defeated Sunderland in Craig Gordon's testimonial yesterday as well. So Hearts are on a roll. They're signing players, they're looking good, and I think they could have a very, very positive season ahead of them. Honestly, I think Hearts they're nailed on to finish third in my opinion. Also, Flavik Cherny, it looks like he is going to complete his move to Wolfsburg, to Besiktas from Wolfsburg, and that will end any sort of hopes that Rangers had of signing him, although I don't think Rangers have really been interested for a long while now. I'm not saying they weren't interested, but I think they've just given up. The reality is they were never really going to get Tierney, and probably for the last, month, 6 weeks, I think Rangers have just accepted that the guy's not coming back. And yeah, looks like he's about to complete that move. And finally, Celtic could be in line for a sell-on fee. We all know Celtic like sell-on fees, and they're good at that. You can't deny them that. They're good at selling their best players and getting sell-on fees, and then they reap the rewards, in a couple of seasons' time. And that's what's happening here. Celtic look like they are going to get a bit of money for Josip Juranovic, who is in line for a big money move to English football from Union Berlin. No sign of what team he's going to go for, but apparently there is several Premiership clubs interested in getting Juranovic's signature. So if that happens, I'm sure Celtic will get even more money come into the club and even more money that they can add to the transfer kitty, or as they like to call it, the war chest. So that is it. We've got a little bit more news regarding a transfer embargo. So the transfer embargo imposed on Hamilton Academico by the Scottish Professional Football League has forced the League One club to shelve plans to sign a series of trialists, including experienced centre-half Ricky Lamy and midfielder Charlie Telfer. So yeah, those are two definitely experienced players, Ricky Lamy, Charlie Telfer. I'm sure they would have done a good job for Hamilton in League One, but unfortunately due to this embargo, they're not going to be able to sign them, and Hamilton could be in a bad way. Will they get promotion straight back up to the Championship, or could we see the end of Hamilton? Could Hamilton's days, as a club in the top two tiers of Scottish football be over? Could we see them become a League One, League Two side, or maybe even drop out the pyramid if something drastically goes wrong? It's not going to be easy with this transfer embargo in place. Anyway, guys, that's it. There's your news for today from Fog Football. We'll catch you in the next one. Robin Proper, no longer a Rangers player, back to the Netherlands, back to 20, and we'll be interested to see if we get any more signings over the next month. I think we will, and I'm looking forward to it. And of course, we've got the Scottish Premiership starting soon, and we've also got the League Cup last 16 draw coming up soon as well. So lots of good stuff to talk about. Anyway, till next time, peace.